The Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher. So I've heard of this author before with the Dresden Files, but I've never read any of his books before. But I was given the Furies of Calderon as a present for Christmas as an audiobook from my younger brother. He and I have very similar taste in books. Now, starting off, I really struggled for, I think, the first 2/3 of this book. It was slow and I wasn't too interested in anything much, but I think it was just building, setting up. The magic system is interesting and still a bit of a mystery. It hasn't been properly explained. So I'm excited to find out more about that. It's sort of these beings to do with the elements that help people use the power of, say, the wind, fire, the earth. And absolutely everyone in this world has a fury, a being that helps them with this, apart from one boy. And this is the main character of the book. And we still don't know exactly why he doesn't have a fury. That is still a mystery left to be discovered. It's a medieval-ish sort of setting, which isn't my favourite for fantasy books, but this one really grew on me, especially when we moved from the rural setting, when it was just like homesteads, to a more city setting in Academ's Fury. But still, to very late on, I was thinking, oh, there's no way I'm going to want to continue with this series. But in the last quarter, I finally started to get really into it, and it was exciting, and there was some mystery that was introduced. And I love good mystery, when you're having to puzzle out and figure out and sort of be a detective, putting clues together about what's going on. So it had a complete turnaround from me, because when it ended, I immediately really wanted to get into the next book, Academ's Fury. And at the end of the Furies of Calderon, it definitely suggested that the second book in this series was potentially going to go into an academy setting. And I was like, woo, that is my cup of tea. I love a learning, training setting, and also more of a city setting, whereas Furies of Calderon had been in a very rural valley, and I was much more intrigued by all the politics of this city setting that was to come in Academ's Fury. So I've gone straight onto that, and I'm very nearly at the end of that book, and I have absolutely loved it. It wasn't quite what I thought. It wasn't quite as focused on the learning and that aspect of things, but there have been some interesting things introduced. With the Furies of Calderon, the first book, I did have some issues with the female characters, and at one point I was thinking, has this man ever met a woman, talked to a woman, have any idea about how women think about men? Because that did get to me a bit, and that was contributing to the first 2/3 of the book when I was very unsure about the book and not sure if I was going to carry on or even like the book very much. But yes, I'm very into it now, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to carry on with this series. I think there are 6 books in total, and I can definitely see myself going through all of those now. Have any of you ever read this series before, the Codex Alera? Let me know in the comments.